Good morning, everyone. We're here in the butterfly garden. Lots of butterflies this morning. Hopefully you'll get to see a few as we film. I would like to read lesson 19. I reviewed it earlier and now I'm ready to share. So I think I may have a few comments to also share about this lesson as we go. So here we go. The lesson for today is, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. The idea for today is obviously the reason why your seeing does not affect you alone. You will notice that at times the ideas related to thinking precede those related to perceiving, while at other times the order is reversed. The reason is that the order does not matter. Thinking and its results are really simultaneous, for cause and effect are never separate. Today we are again emphasizing the fact that minds are joined. This is rarely a wholly welcome idea at first, since it seems to carry with it an enormous sense of responsibility. It may even be regarded as an invasion of privacy. Yet it is a fact, and that there are no private thoughts. Despite your initial resistance to this idea, you will yet understand that it must be true if salvation is possible at all. And all salvation must be possible because it is the will of God. This is where I think perspective comes in, because there was a time where when I read the part, will of God, a wall would have gone up, and I would have not been open to receiving the message. So for me, I would put in source or energy. Energy is a good word, because we all believe in energy. We know energy exists. So from my perspective, God is energy. God is source. I do not believe that all of this is a coincidence, that all of this just showed up. I mean, I guess it's possible, but for me, from my perspective, I don't see it that way. So, the will of God, the will of source, the will of energy, we all have a piece of that in us. We are all, from my perspective, a piece of source, a piece of the whole, a piece of God. So, we always strive from our hearts to be better people. And I believe that we always strive to make a better life for our children, and we always wish a better life for our friends. So therefore, that, I believe, is the will of God, the will of source. So God, or source, energy, is constantly evolving to make itself better. And in order to do that, it forgives and it accepts without judgment all that there is. So for me, when it mentioned the will of God, from my perspective, the will of myself, the will of energy, the will of source. So let me continue. The minute or so of mind searching which today's exercise requires to be undertaken with closed eyes. The idea for today is to be repeated first, and then the mind should be carefully searched for the thoughts it contains at that time. As you consider each one, name it in terms of the central person or theme it contains, and holding it in your mind, as you do so, say, I am not alone in experiencing this thought about religion. The requirement of as much discriminativeness as possible is selecting subjects for the practice periods should be quite familiar to you by now and will no longer be repeated each day, although it will occasionally be included as a reminder. Do not forget, however, that random selection of subjects for all practice periods remains essential throughout. Lack of order in this connection will ultimately make the recognition of lack of order in miracles meaningful for you. Apart from the as-needed application of today's idea, at least 3 practice periods are required, shortening the length of time involved if necessary. Do not attempt more than 4. So again, for Lesson 19, this is what you should say to yourself 3 to 4 times a day. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of this thought about, and then you fill in the blank. Have a beautiful day. Much love.